Hey guys, this is Man. Actually, I'm bringing you guys my first ever Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle, and this is against a guy named Ian. I met him at Shofu's stream, and if you don't know who Shofu is, he's this big YouTuber who does these Pokemon videos, and he does streams once and again. So yeah, go check him out. And this is the team I got. I got Fortress. Um, uh, what's it called? Honedge, Salamence, Blaziken, Azumarill, and Goodra, while he's got Gyarados, Alakazam, Delphox, Goodra, and Snorlax, and Tyranitar. So, yeah, he's got a pretty scary team, but we should be able to deal with it. And let's go straight into the battle. One thing I forgot to mention is that none of my Pokemon are IV trained, so yeah, put that in mind. But on the first turn, I decided to start off with my rocky, spiky fortress, as he starts off with his Tyranitar. As this turn, we both exchange some rocks as he sets up the Sandstorm with that Sandstream ability, which won't be necessarily that hurting my team, because in this generation, moves like Sandstream, the ability Sandstream, and moves that set up weather effects only last for 5 turns, so that's great. But this turn he decides to Mega Evolve, which makes me think that either Tyranitar is the only Mega Evolution on his team, so I should be able to set up another layer of spikes pretty easy, because he goes for the crunch this turn, does like a really low amount of damage. So I get a free 2 sets off on spikes as he decides to switch into his Delphox, and as I set up another layer of spikes this turn. So yeah, I have 2 layers of spikes and Stealth Rocks, which puts me in a really great position, because he has no spin blockers, so whenever I feel it is time, I can just rapid spin them away. So that's great for me. This turn I decided to switch into my Goodra, the only pseudo-legendary of this generation, and Goodra is known for being a bit of a beast, but as you can see, I get killed by the bloody Psyshock, which actually kind of shocked me, because this Goodra has max HP, max special attack, and a bit of investment in special attack, so, and it also has the assault vest, so I really didn't think that it would take me out, but it was a bit of a shock. But from here I switch into my Azumarill and I scare out this Delphox, but I decide to go for the safe move and go for the waterfall. I still do not carry Aqua Jet on my Azumarill yet, I just have to breathe for that, and then I should be ready. Because instead of Aqua Jet, I have Aqua Tail, which is not really good, and also the priority of Aqua Jet kind of helps later on. But he switches into his Gyarados, takes the waterfall pretty well. As in, next turn I'm going to switch into my Salamence and get the Intimidator off, because I knew he was going to go for the Dragon Dance, and I knew I'd be able to outspeed him, because my Salamence is a Scarfed Salamence, and Scarfed Salamence is a bit of a beast. So this turn I'm going to be able to outspeed him and go for the Dragon Claw, even though he was at +1 speed and normal attack. So yeah, I'm able to take out the Gyarados so easy. But this turn he decides to switch into his Alakazam, and this kind of scared me off, because I wouldn't be able to do that much damage. I don't think I would have been able to kill him off with the Dragon Claw, and also I wanted to save my Salamence later, because he was the most speediest Pokemon on my team. So this turn I switched to my Fortress, knowing that I could take a hit from any kind of move that this Salamence has got, whether it be Focus Blast or Dazzling Gleam. He goes for Dazzling Gleam the other turn, and this turn he misses the Focus Blast, which is unfortunate for him, but it's fortunate for me, because I get to spin away his rocks, and also this turn I'm able to live the Shadow Ball and also go for the spikes this turn. So I have 3 layers of spikes and 1 layer of Surf Rocks, so that is a fuck ton of entry hazards that his Pokemon have to deal with now. So this turn he's gonna be able to kill me off with a psychic, which is great. Well, yeah, it's actually kind of good because Fortress is he's done his job, and I think he needs a bit of a rest. So next turn I switch into my Salamence, and I'm going to eat this Alakazam up with the crunch. Nom nom. Yeah, it was dinner time. Look, Alakazam even has the spoons and stuff. So I mean. I kill him off with this crunch, and next turn he switches into a Snorlax. I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill him off with the crunch, considering it's non-stab. And I've seen in previous games that non-stab moves from a Salamence does not kill a lot of things. Trust me. And this turn I switch into my Azumarill because it's the only thing that can really kill it at this point, because he's the only thing with a fighting type move. So he goes for the body slam. Luckily, he doesn't get the paralysis, which I didn't want. But this turn is actually kind of a weird moment of events, because I go for the waterfall on his turn. Because if I went for superpower, there was that chance he could have lived the superpower, and then I would have -1. I would have -1 attack, and so the next move I would go for wouldn't do that much damage, and you probably live that as well. So I didn't want to risk that. I decided to go for the waterfall, get him to a low amount of health, and then this turn go for the superpower and take him out. So yeah, I don't know whether that would have helped. If he got the paralysis on the second time he went for body slam, he probably would have killed me after that. So yeah, I got really lucky there. But yeah, it pulled out for me. So this turn he switched in to his Delphox, and it's just gonna die to all those entry hazards. So yeah, entry hazards are really important in this game. Put them down, man. You can't have a team without entry hazards. So his last Pokemon is his Gudra, so he's just going to run away at this. No, that's later on. He said he goes for the Thunderbolt and takes me out, which kind of shocked me because I thought I could outspeed. But this turn I switch into my Aegislash as he decides to switch out into his Tyranitar. And this turn it gives me the perfect opportunity to set up the Source Dance and do what Aegislash does and sweep like a boss. And I go for the Source Dance here, and the next turn he does a weird kind of thing, because he could have taken me out with the crunch, but instead he decides to go for the Stealth Rocks, which actually kind of weirded me out. I mean, like, I don't know what he was trying to do. He could have easily taken me out with the crunch. He's Mega Tyranitar. He's a huge amount of attack, has a huge attack boost in this generation. So it gives me the chance to go back in my shield form, go for the King Shield, as I expect the crunch coming from the Tyranitar, and I wasn't really sure I could outspeed the Tyranitar, so I don't go for the Sacred Sword when I could have. But this time I go for the Sacred Sword, and I find out that I outspeed it, but probably because I do carry some EVs in speed on my Aegislash. So it's actually this turn where his last Pokemon is his Gudra, and he decides to run because he's not going to be living any kind of hit from my Aegislash. So good game, Ian. There were a couple of things I want to say before it ended up. He had 3 Pokemon that could possibly Mega Evolve, and those were his Gyarados, his Alakazam, and his Tyranitar. He decided to Mega Evolve with his Tyranitar, which made me think that his rest of the Pokemon could be Life Orbed or had leftovers. But as you can see in the previous, as you can see when he switched into his Alakazam and his Gyarados, they didn't show off any indication that they had those items, which made me think that maybe he was carrying Mega Stones on those Pokemon as well. And I just wanted to say that you shouldn't really carry more than 3 Mega Pokemon in your team, because first of all, you can only Mega Evolve once in the game, and you know, you want to be able to have that choice also. But it kind of hurts the rest of your Pokemon if you do that. So I do recommend, you know, going with at least one or two Mega Pokemon in your team, preferably one. But that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. I know it looks pretty bad because I was recording it on my iPhone, but it came out alright. It came out okay. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.